All right, everybody. Welcome back to Gritiron Gang, Detroit News Lions podcast. The Lions are fresh off a 24-9 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home going into the bye week at 5-2. I got 3 notes written down. Lions secondary, wow. Jahmyr Gibbs, wow. Ali McNeil, wow. So we're going to talk about all that on today's episode.
Guys, we're down here.
Before we get to all that, I should introduce ourselves. I'm Nolan Bianchi. With me, as always, my partners in crime, Richard Silva, John Niyo.
Yep.
Boys, thanks for joining me. I think we have a second columnist on staff. Haven't seen him in a while.
Recall that. Yeah, he's busy tapping away.
Yeah.
Crafting.
I went over to him on the way over here and I said, "Hey, come and do the post-game video," and he gave me the finger. So
wow. Yeah. I also
classless.
He denied it. Me and you were working after the game, and a water bottle came into our vicinity out of nowhere. And he was the only one in the area.
Like
he said it wasn't him.
Sounds like the juvenile Wojo that we all know.
Yeah, that's why we're really happy today. We got the good columnist here with us today. I think we should start with the secondary because that was the biggest question mark coming in. It was the thing that we didn't think that they would probably be able to overcome in this game. Mm-hmm. And if they were going to find a victory, it was going to be in a similar style to how they were trying to get one last week, where you're living and dying with the offense. You're going for it on a lot of fourth downs. You're really pushing the envelope with that unit. And tonight, it was all defense. It was all Kelvin Shepherd. It was all Arthur Mollett. It was all Nick Whiteside. It was all these guys that we've never heard of coming up big for the Lions.
All these guys that, to be honest, some of the offensive players will admit, I'm not even sure I've actually met this guy before. You had a patchwork defense. Your entire starting secondary is out. You've got guys who've only just gotten here in some cases or recently just gotten here in some cases, and they played like a unit that has been together all season for multiple seasons because they played with all-out effort, but they just didn't make a lot of mistakes either. I mean, that's the thing that really impressed me, especially some of those red zone plays there where they just felt like they were all locked in, and it was clear that they knew this was game. They were out to prove something today, and that's Amik Robertson. That's all of those guys. That's their mentality. They came out and showed it. I mean, it's like 12 passes defended tonight. I think they had, as a team, I think they had 33 pressures today for the Lions on 55 dropbacks. I mean, it was just an impressive all-around performance. But if you had doubts about this team being a championship caliber team, I think that should answer it.
I mean, you run down the snap counts for some of these guys that played in the secondary. Amik and Thomas Harper played all 69 snaps. Probably a career high for Thomas Harper. I haven't double checked, but I would assume so. And then even guys down to like Lawrence Strickland had 13 snaps. Rock Yassin, by the way, who goes down a couple times, cramps, in and out. He plays 29 snaps. Oh, you need 40 from Nick Whiteside. He's got you. He plays great. I think what it was Arthur Mollett had 35, and you could probably speak to this better because I know it was the lead to your game story. I think the thing that captures like the secondary and just the swagger that they were playing with was after Jared Goff. So Arthur Mollett gets the interception, takes the ball out of Cade Otton's hands. Jared Goff then throws it back to the Bucs. Jamel Dean picks him off. And then as Jared Goff is coming off the field frustrated, Arthur Mollett, who got here 10 days ago, like pats Jared on the back and basically saying like, it's all right, man. Like we got you. And they did. And they had him. And they really did.
Yeah. The Buccaneers ended up getting a field goal on that drive. They only had a little bit to go to get into field goal range. But yes, I thought that was so indicative of just the swagger that this defense played with tonight. And it's the 12 pass breakups. And the thing that's crazy, when we talk about Nick Whiteside, it's not just the backups who are doing this. It's the backups to the backups. Nick Whiteside came in here as a camp body 2 weeks into camp, came in here because of injuries, didn't think he had a shot in the world to make this team. He fights. He doesn't end up making it. He ends up getting signed to the practice squad, a little bit while later, but it wasn't immediate. Like he didn't know if he was ever going to get a chance again. He ends up landing back on Detroit's practice squad at the perfect time. They call him up for this game. 3 pass breakups, all 3 of them, by the way, in the end zone. First one coming on a 2-point conversion that, really kept the game. It kept the lead at 5 points instead of 3. And then on the Bucs' final drive, under 5 minutes to go, not the final drive, but on their real last gasp effort with under 5 minutes to go, he ends up coming up with 2 pass breakups in the end zone. Again, the backups to the backups. They got backups on backups on backups. Like a good kitchen, not dropping jalapenos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Look, I mean, we kind of we've seen this before, and that's the other. We should not be surprised by this. I guess from this Lions defense, we saw it at the end of last year, week after week. To be honest, this game reminded me a lot of the win over the Vikings at the end of the regular season. Score was similar. The way the offense didn't, they struggled, for a while. I mean, they did get a lead, but it didn't feel real safe. But the defense made it feel safe again and again and again. They're just coming up with stops. This crowd was on fire from the get-go. It felt like last January. And that defense, I mean, I think that's kind of what these fans love about this team is like, I don't know who these guys are, but I just know they're going to play their asses off and do this. And that's what they did again. Yeah.
And the real quick, just on the defensive game plan, it's been 7 games now. I don't think this is unfair to say. I think I feel better about this defense right now than I ever did with Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator. And that's no slight to Aaron Glenn. That is a testament to how dialed Kelvin Shepherd has these guys right now.
Kelvin Shepherd was absolutely his game plan throughout, obviously installing it throughout the week and then deploying it today was incredible. And they were, they benefited from maybe not the best Baker Mayfield game, probably his worst game of the season. However, you would imagine that some of that play, that poor play, the sprayed throws was due to the pressure. John said like the 33 combined pressures for all the team this year, or for all the team in this game. It took until the fourth quarter for the defensive line to get a sack. It was Jack Campbell had one for like 0 yards, and then and Derek Barnes finished like a kind of a coverage sack. But the defensive line, and they did get 2 in the last quarter. They were it felt like every play, especially later in the game as the Bucs had to abandon the run, it was Baker Mayfield took the snap, Baker Mayfield moved off the spot, and then Baker Mayfield had to make some sort of off-platform throw, and he couldn't do it consistently enough.
Not to take away from Kelvin Shepherd, but you do feel a lot better watching this defense when Aiden Hutchinson is out there for 90% of the snaps. And today, almost immediately, you saw the difference that Aleem McNeil can make. I mean, right off the bat, he's in the backfield pressuring Baker Mayfield, and he looked like Aleem McNeil from last year before he tore his ACL. So that's a huge addition to this team. And, again, the story, we'll talk about it, but coming out of the bye, you're going to start to see more reinforcements. Maybe not Aleem McNeil level reinforcements, but important players coming back, and so to get through this at 5-2, it's huge.
Yeah, you referenced the Jack Campbell sack. I can't remember. I think that was on Tampa's first drive, right? Maybe. So that was forced by Aleem. He got in there. He forced the pressure. He forced Baker to scramble, and then Jack Campbell grabbed him before he fully left the pocket. Second drive comes up, and Aleem is in there. I think it was on the first drop back of the series, and Aleem is pushing Buccaneers guard Ben Bredesen like he's nothing, like he is on wheels. And then on the third drive, Aleem McNeil gets the defense off the field with a third down pass breakup. I mean, he was just doing
while getting double teamed. He reaches up and bats that one down.
Yeah, he was doing absolutely everything for them tonight.
I thought it was really cool, Aleem talking about this in the locker room because his whole thing is he's super even keel and he doesn't ride the roller coaster of emotions, and that's real. Like I really do. Yeah. A lot of people talk about that he lives it. Like he's very much level in all things. But even he kind of talked about it where when he got that pass breakup, and the crowd is happy, and then the guy on the intercom says Aleem McNeil with the pass breakup, and the crowd loses their mind. Yeah. He was like, I forgot what that felt like, and he said that. It was like that joy that he has been, I think he said, quote, deprived of, like over the last 10 months. He felt that for the first time. And he said it reminded him how much he like really, really, really loves this game and loves doing that. Thought it was cool that he, a guy that is so typically like ho-hum about a lot of things that he said like, cool. That's Aleem's classic line. Yeah, it was cool. This one was very cool for him.
But literally it's since last October, it's a year now since you had both those 2 pieces up front with Hutchinson breaking his leg and then, Aleem not there to start this season. This is a completely different defense when you've got those two guys up front.
It is fascinating.
Along with DJ Reader. I mean, those other guys have been playing well. Yeah. But you added Aleem McNeil to that, and this is a whole different.
It is fascinating to think about what this defense is going to look like towards the back half of the season if they can stay healthy. Now, that's a big if in the NFL. Injuries happen all the time. They actually got out relatively clean today. Sorry if you guys can hear all that buzzing in the background.
With the little,
him writing his column.
Yeah, a little leaf blower there.
I don't remember what I was talking.
Jahmyr Gibbs is what you're about to talk about.
Well, we got it. One quick second. The only injury that they had today was Rocky Sean. It was cramps. He seems to be okay. but they're just in a spot where they're going to get Kirby Joseph. Like the next time they go out on the field, they could have Taron Arnold, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, and maybe Marcus Davenport. Like that might be a little bit of a long shot, but it's possible. Yeah. Like,
and the week after that, DJ Reed.
Yeah.
Like it,
possibly. Yeah.
Potentially.
For sure.
Yeah. The Lions offense sputtered for large stretches of this game today, even though they put up 24 points. I think Jared Goff called it an ugly 24 points, 13 drives, scored on only 4 of them. The real concerning stat, and this is something that's kind of plagued them going back to the Bengals game, going back to the Browns game, 3 drive starts in Tampa Bay territory yielded just 3 points.
Yeah. They were not good on third down today, but there were other issues along the way. And to be honest, you had the big plays, but in between, you just didn't feel like there was necessarily the rhythm at all times like we're used to seeing from this offense. Taylor Decker was back. I think Taylor Decker was probably frustrated with the way he played today. There were some issues at different spots on the offensive line at different times. But again, you can have an ugly game and score 24 points still because you've got a playmaker always who's on in some respect, and tonight it was Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield.
Should we take a break?
Because of the noise, perhaps.
Okay.
For 44 years, Varsity Ford in Ann Arbor has been more than just a dealership. We're a family, proudly serving yours. As one of the top volume Ford dealers in the world, we're proof that when you treat people right, they come back, generation after generation. And now we make it easier than ever with complimentary pickup and delivery for both sales and service. So you can buy or service your Ford without leaving home. Varsity Ford, driven by family, built on tradition.
All right, we're back live. Sorry about that, folks. Jahmyr Gibbs, you brought him up right before we took a little break there because of the leaf blowers going on in the background. He was sensational tonight. I don't remember what the scrimmage yards were, but he had 136 rushing yards on 17 carries, 218 yards from scrimmage,
career high. 3
catches for 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Absolutely sensational. One of the best games I've ever seen him play.
Before we go any further,
yes,
can we just get this out of the way?
Yes, we can.
So about 20 minutes before Jahmyr Gibbs ripped off his 78-yard run,
here we go.
Nolan looked over at me. He really wants me to say this, just so you guys know.
I didn't ask him to say it, though.
Jahmyr Gibbs rips off the 78-yard run, and about 20 minutes before that, Nolan looks at me and says, Jahmyr's ripping off a long one today. I could just feel it, the way he's moving, the way this O-line's blocking. And sure enough, he was right, I guess. So unfortunately, you got to give it to him.
All right. Way to go, Nolan.
And Richard, I saw Richard going to make a tweet about the touchdown. I said, make sure that you put in there because I can't.
Selfless. That's why we like you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Listen, I really only want credit for like good predictions. That's all I ever need credit for the record.
So it was really going on a limb saying that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to break down by the way, because that's kind of what he does.
He hadn't done one all year.
Yeah, no, that is true. And they all talked about it afterwards. Like, you just knew this was coming. It was just a matter of when. And then, that play, the 78-yard touchdown run, little Javid Best throwback from Monday Night Football. But no, he said when he got the handoff, a little delayed handoff from Goff, he looked up and all he saw was black jerseys and they were 5 yards downfield already. And so he's just like, oh, expletive. I just got to run straight. And he did. Even cut right, and Winfield took a bad angle on him. But he was off to the races, 22.3 miles per hour, second fastest run to Jahmyr Gibbs' run against Chicago in the NFL this season. He's that kind of talent. The speed is just unreal. And we have been waiting to see that. And you saw it tonight. You saw it a couple of times tonight. You saw him in a little swing pass where he almost scored. Penei Sewell riding shotgun the whole way down, kind of overran his block because he was running probably about 20 miles an hour. And look, that's what he's capable of, just game-breaking talent. And to see it tonight on a night where the offense kind of couldn't get it on its own, that's huge.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Penei Sewell, by the way, beside himself.
Yeah,
for missing that block.
And like any good running back, Jahmyr Gibbs gets the game ball in the post-game locker room, immediately makes a beeline and goes and hands it to Penei Sewell because he knows.
Very nice. He
knows where his bread is buttered. But no, it was. That swing pass before that run. Just go back and watch that video. Watch the just swat he gives to the lineman, the linebacker in the backfield to start it all, and then watch him trucking downfield it's amazing what he does at 300+ pounds.
Well, and we were obviously just joking about it. Not much of a limb to go out and say that he's going to break a long run, but that was a little bit of a storyline this week.
Yeah.
Just the balance of him and David Montgomery. David Montgomery just 4 carries in that game last week against the Chiefs. No second half carries. Wondering if it might be better to do something a little bit more traditional like they have in the last 2 years. Oh, maybe Montgomery's your opener again. Maybe Montgomery's your closer again. They really just kind of stuck with it tonight. And I mean, it was pretty obvious why they had confidence in that plan because, after, his efficiency kind of dipped through the first 6 weeks of the season or so, he was only averaging 4.5 yards per carry, which is not bad, but for him, a little bit below what he was used to. So, that was something that needed to happen tonight. And it felt like it was only a matter of time, honestly.
I tweeted during the game that this was clearly Jahmyr Gibbs' best game this season. That might have been Jahmyr Gibbs' best game since arriving here in Detroit. Yeah. Maybe the only other one that also likening back to Week 18 last year against the Vikings where he scores 4 touchdowns. Right. Maybe that one's up there.
There was another Monday night. The Monday night game against the Raiders here was obviously one of his sort of breakout games or whatever. But
also going into the bye.
Yeah, right.
No, but he was just absolutely incredible with the ball in his hands. That juke that he had on Servassier Dennis early in the game, ridiculous. Yeah. He put him on the ground. It was insane.
Oh no! Ooh, I caught it. That's a catch.
We'll give you one guess.
Whoa,
who just elicited that reaction?
Yeah.
You guys doing a video?
Yeah. What? Come over here. We got a question.
What? I got chips. I'm bringing you chips.
Thank you.
You should be thankful.
I got Buscemi's at the house. What did we think of the Lions today?
Well, that was a very impressive performance, although we've seen it many times before, because when they lose, they come back and just maul people. Why do they do that?
I don't know. You're the columnist.
I'm
not allowed to have opinions.
As always.
Is what? Insightful? No.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the forcefulness of Dan Campbell and his coaching staff. I actually think Kelvin Shepard really showed out today, don't you think?
Yeah.
Those guys
Did you write about that?
We were gonna talk about that.
No, I wrote about the defense and then some about Goff and then a little about Jahmyr Gibbs. And then I went back to the defense again and the secondary. So what did you guys write about?
Whatever you did
that,
about,
but like
buddy.
broken up into individual stories.
Oh, okay. Where's the camera?
It's
right here.
It's way up yonder. I don't think the people can see, but honestly, it's probably for the best.
But, hey, what does that mean?
Nothing.
Hey, look at that.
I didn't mean anything by
We
it.
got there some
I
chips.
got some chips and some water and some napkins. Everything good? 24-9.
Yeah,
not bad.
That's what we heard. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Super Bowl back on.
Rich wants it back. Yeah.
I was just going to say that we've gone off the rails.
That's okay.
Oh, no, you definitely
cares?
gone off the rails.
This is what the people tune in to see.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wojo throwing chips.
That's right.
You know,
Were you wrapping it up or were you just starting?
I was actually just calling him the good columnist.
Really?
What do you have to say about that?
You know what I have to say about that? Hey!
Like morally good. And
that too.
yeah.
Mortally good as well.
Yeah.
That was one of the more impressive victories by the Lions,
It
I
was.
think. All circumstances considered, right?
I think so.
Is there a chance? Don't say this out loud. This doesn't go on the internet, does it?
No.
Is there a
little secret?
Is there a chance the Bucs are kind of fraudulent?
You said that before.
I said that before the game. I've
did
been
you?
calling.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can, again, unfortunately, give him credit for saying that before the game.
And
Nostradamus.
You know what I'm taking credit for? I'll tell you what I'm taking credit for. Who made a big freaking deal about the NFL's replay review shenanigans last week and kept it up during the weekend? Let it go. And I guarantee you the NFL beeped back today after not overturning the call and said, whoa. We can't screw the Lions 2 weeks in a row. So they made the correct call. Now, all kidding aside, I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I think that shows the fluid nature of the replay review. And now everybody can get a review.
Yeah, they reviewed their reviews this week. How
Yes,
about
they
that,
did.
Yeah.
And I think we did that. All of us did that.
Yeah. Well,
Jared Goff
you
did
especially.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you were. I mean, Thursday it was like, all right, time to move on to the Bucs.
Oh no, I was annoying as hell. Oh my God, was I annoying?
He was still
as hell.
talking about it today in the second quarter.
Ask the Chiefs fans if I was annoying as hell. Again, this is not going on the internet.
Nope.
right?
No.
Okay,
Especially
good. Yeah.
Not in Kansas City.
No, not at all. Yeah. No, that was very impressive. They got it right, at least the NFL for once. Okay. All right. Enjoy where you guys going for your bye week? The Caribbean?
My house. I'm gonna be on the couch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, come by.
Like any other day.
Pretty much.
Going to East Lansing for his bye week.
Ooh, you going to East Lansing?
Oh, the tropical paradise that is East Lansing. All right, you guys wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap this.
We got to wrap this up.
Get out. Go eat your chips.
Is there anything else that we have to cover? I mean, there was an actual like replay review that was controversial.
Yeah,
I had to do a pool report on it, but it was a little bit strange, and it was kind of reminiscent of last week because the process that they took to get there was a little bit unconventional. A lot of it unconventional.
Yeah. Very.
4th and 4 in Bucs territory, second half. Cade Otton catches a pass over the middle, defended by Alex Anzalone. He's like going to the ground as he's catching the ball, and then he reaches out for the line to gain, and then they say he fumbles at the end, so they're challenging whether or not he completed the process of the catch, but him reaching out was the end of the process of the catch. So that they come back and they said the play stands, and then the Buccaneers get ready to go out there for first down, and then they said, "Oh, hold on." They said, "Oh." Probably from the Midwest. And then they said, actually, hold on. We just got a second replay review. So apparently there was a broadcast angle. There was some sort of communication issues that disallowed the ability for the officiating crew to see that replay angle initially, apparently. And then
this was the Amazon outage that was
the AWS web server.
Perhaps, yeah.
Wow. And then after the second replay view, they say, "Oh, we looked at it again," and just kidding. Lions ball going the other way.
Todd Bowles was not happy about that. And I can't believe it. He's like, what?
Yeah. How didn't you see that the first time?
During a TV commercial too. So it was
they put up a 5-minute TV commercial, and I was like, "Oh boy!"
It was
Rich was like, "I don't think I've ever seen that
before."
Yeah, and I do think they cut it off before the 5 minutes, but I was like, "That surely can't be right." There was also another less controversial review, and maybe they explained it better on the TV than we got an explanation here. But on that sack of Baker Mayfield, the second Dan Campbell challenge, where the refs came over the intercom and they said the Lions have challenged the spot of the ball. I said the spot of the ball. Right. It was 4 yards short of the line to gain. It was unsuccessful, whatever the Lions were challenging.
I think it was technically successful on the challenge. The first anyway. Yeah. No, it was a mess again.
All right. The Lions are 5-2 going into the bye week. Yes. They're going to get healthy on the back end of it. Just any departing thoughts on what we might see from this team in the second half, what we saw from them in the first half?
I would say, underscoring this a little bit, and we'll see how Tampa is the rest of the way. They lost Mike Evans for the rest of the season, perhaps, with a broken collarbone on that play. He was also concussed, I think, on that play. It was rough. We'll see where they are in the mix down the line, but these victories count for something more when you're thinking tiebreakers and all those things down at the end of the season. Getting this NFC win over another really good team that was leading the NFC until today, it was huge. And I think it does springboard them not just into the bye, but into that tough stretch of the schedule in November.
The difference in vibes one game can make is insane. Imagine they lose this game. They're 4-3 going into the bye. It's like, you're kind of 500. You lost 2 in a row. You feels like you kind of limped into the bye. Versus this, you're 5-2. Kind of, it doesn't work like this. But in Lions fans and people's brains, and even in our brains, like, week 1 was week 1. Like it was disappointing that for a multitude of reasons, and they just kind of forget that they're 5-1 or whatever it is since then. And vibes are as good as they've been.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued to see what the back half of the season holds for this team, just because of the way that they have come together. And I feel like with a lot of these recent offensive performances, we've seen that there's still a lot of meat left on the bone with this team. Can the defense keep playing at a high level? Can the defense get even better as the season goes on, as they get reinforcements back and Kelvin Shepherd gets more comfortable?
I think we definitely know the offense can be better than it has been. I mean, we've seen flashes of last year's offense, but not consistently. Tate Rowledge looks like he's going to be such a stud, and he's only going to get better down the line. Mahogany as well is going to get better as the season goes along. If that group can stay healthy, I think sort of the sky's the limit in terms of that. I mean, we still haven't seen a JMO breakout game. We still haven't, so there's still a ton left there. And then, defensively, when you start adding those pieces back, you've got this depth now that's proven itself. You get those frontline guys back, it can be a top 5, top 10 defense before all is said and done, if they can get all those guys healthy.
Yeah. DetroitNews.com
Yes.
for all of our post-game written content. Rate, review, subscribe on this podcast page. It really helps us grow. We really appreciate it. We really like doing this podcast. It went a little bit off the rails today, so thanks for sticking with us if you made it this far.
If you can make it through Wojo's, interference, you're golden.
Absolutely. And if you just skipped over that part,
That's right.
not offended.
That's what the fast forward
So,
button's for.
yeah, absolutely. All right. For Nolan, for John, for Richard, thanks so much for listening / watching. We'll see you guys next
We're
time.
supposed to point again.